septic tank. So we got to create a slope right here. We got Larry over here doing the trench work. I'm going to take my level, 6-foot level, and on one end I tape that spacer so that when I do, I'm going to lay this on top of this board here down in the trench, and then put this end here at the low end of the slope, and then try to put my bubble right in the middle like that right there, and that should be pretty close to the right slope. If anything, we want to stay a little on the heavy side of that spacer, but right there a little on the heavy side. So that's what we're doing right now. It's a little tedious, but we'll get it done. Just gotta go out to where that rock is. Right there, that rock is right there. We gotta go across that because there's another water line down the bottom of that. Water line to that hydrant right over there. We don't want to hit that. That's why I left that trench open right there. So we knew right where it was at, we wouldn't hit it. So we got our supervisor out here, little Griff, just making sure everything's okay. Well, the trenching came out good. Got it all done. We got our slope in, the level and everything. We got that, it's like 1/8 of an inch for every foot of drop is what you want on a 4-inch septic line. So we went just a little heavier than that. And it comes right down through here and over to where the septic tank is. And this is where we tapped in the septic line with the trailer. And as you can see, Luther's having a look at it, but we broke the line right there, but it's not a big deal. I can fix that. It's not a problem at all. I'll just have to make a trip down to the hardware store and get those fittings and put some new pieces in, and we'll be back good as new. But I got to tap down into that anyway, and then run my lines through here. So I don't know if I'll do a temporary fix till I do that, or just wait till I get the stuff I need to tee into the main line, the 4-inch line through here. But that's what I got to do. Got to get that fixed up and start running my line all the way up through the stem wall of the house right there. I've got a place there where I can just tap right into it with a coupling and glue it all together. So that's going to be one of my next big projects. I'm out here hooking up the sewer. I got a clean out right there. Here's the stem wall for the house. And I'm creating the slope right now with this one. And then I'm gonna glue it. That's not glued right there yet into the clean out. Clean out's all glued up, but this one's not glued into it. And then it's at a little different angle than what we got down here. Now, those aren't glued together there either, but the green pipe right there is going right into the tank, the septic tank over there. So what I'm doing is they're a little different angles, so I'm gonna have to try to get a little bit of a bend in these as I'm coming out. But I'm creating the angle down there, the slope, I should say, the slope, so the water and sewage flows through it. And once I get right down into here, we've got a water line. See this water line that we're having to go, it looks like it's going to go underneath it, this pipe's going to go under that water line. And that water line goes over to that hydrant right over there for the animals' water. So I don't have this glued up yet. I'm going to figure this out once I get down here to it. So I'm going to keep working my way this way. And what I'm going to probably have to do, I'm not sure till I get a little closer, but I got these little 22.5-degree things. I might have to do sort of a little drop down joggle with these, because it looks like I'm going to have a little too much slope going down. But I'm going to just kind of keep the slope right about where it's supposed to be and then adjust it down at the end. So let's see how this goes. All right, I got 2 pipes glued together now. Got the slope just right. I got to hook it all up to these. So I got to start figuring out what I'm going to do. I'm definitely going to have to drop down with those 22.5-degree angle pieces over there. And what I've done here to create the slope, a friend of mine told me about this idea. See how I taped something on this? This is a 6-foot level, so I've got about 1.5 inches, just a little less than 1.5 inches on the bottom of this from from here up on top of that, here to here. That's about 1.5 inches, just a hair under 1.5 inches. So that's going to get me the right. So, and what you do is you just set it down on the top, put that piece down at the bottom of the slope, the lower end of the slope, and then get your bubble in the middle, and then that creates that. So if this level is level, then you're going to have that little gap underneath down here where that 1.5 inch spacer is, and that should get me the right slope. But now, since this end here that I'm working on is higher than that down there by quite a bit, I'm going to have to joggle down right in here, and it's not going to be too bad. I think it'll work out just fine. Just a little extra work, but it's not going to be bad. So I'm going to get on that now. Well, I'm about to make my final cut now, and the girls came over here to help me out. Gotta cut it right there, and then I'm going to put it right there to over there. That's the 22.5-degree fittings, and then right here I've got one of these repair type things you slide on. I've never used one, but it shouldn't be too difficult. Just got to make sure you get it in the right place. I got some marks on there, and I'm going to use, and then you got to go kind of quick, or it's going to set up on me before I get it in the right spot. So here we go. You can see that I've got it. See that bend in it? Real slight little bend. Should work just fine. Let's get this cut and get it together. Well, I've got it all together now. So there's a piece of pipe I put through the foundation here. It goes up, it goes right over there. I have to dig that end up, and that'll be under the house. It goes right through the bottom of the foundation, the footing. It goes, this pipe, I put it, before they poured the footing, I put a piece of pipe in there, and they poured the footing over it, and then I put it all together. There's the clean out. So if I ever get clogged up in this line, this is pretty close to 50 foot long. So I'm going with a 1/4 inch drop for every 1 foot for the slope. And I've maintained that, but in order to keep that same slope, I had to do a little drop right there, just a short little drop. And then the slope starts right back up to the correct slope. And then there's where I put my last fitting in. It's one of those repair couplings. And then it goes right over into the septic tank. And then right in this area here, it goes over to the RV. The RV comes right into the tank also. And where those 2 piles of rocks are, that's where the lids are to service the septic tank. And then the leach lines are right out there in that area. So that's it. Got it going underneath the water line. That water line, man, it goes clear around the other side of the house and way back over there to where the well's way back over there. And then it goes, the garden area is back that way. So it goes to there too, a big long trench for that. So we got all kinds of lines going on. This trench right here is going to have a water line coming to the house. So we got water lines everywhere but the house now. So I got to run one down through here. And I've already got a place in the foundation where it goes under. I got to dig that out and it'll come out over here underneath the house. And it'll eventually, it's going to go into the garage. This will be the garage over here. It's going to come out over here to a pressure tank and a little manifold and everything. And then from there, it'll go to the hot water heater will be in here in the garage. And then it'll go out and back into the, up underneath the house and to the bathrooms and sinks and all that. And then I just finished yesterday doing this. This is the electrical. There's the ground wire, and there's the conduit, electrical conduit. You know, I don't have that last little piece glued in yet, but I've got my pull string and everything in there. And then the trench, I just backfilled it all up and raked it out smooth. The other end over here is where the powerhouse will be. So be a little shed, just a little shed I'll put here and have the batteries and inverter and all that in it. And then there's the well, and then the solar panels will be right over here in this little clearing. I have the solar panels. South is that way, so it's all open to the south, really good for the sun. And that's about it. Then we're gonna have this place set up. Now I got some electrical PVC coming out there that goes over here so I can wire up a pump to pump water from this tank here, this big tank. And then that way we can pump water to the garden or the house if we want to, or we can close a valve and go straight from the well. Just the well goes just straight from the well to the house or the garden. So if the sun's shining bright, we'll just go straight from the well, and at nighttime or on cloudy days we're trying to save a little power, then we can do just pump off this tank here, save the power. So we're looking good. Just still got a lot of work to do. So now what I'm doing is I'm taking the soft dirt that's kind of a sandy, soft dirt that's broke up, and putting it underneath the tubing there to keep it supported real nice before I start throwing a bunch of hard chunks of clay and stuff on top of it. So yeah, it'll support underneath it really well. So I'll show you how I'm doing that. So I'm just on the, most of the top of the pile seems like the best of the dirt here is real sandy type soil, and it'll cushion underneath it real well and support it. So when I put things on top of it, this pipe's not going to flex down on me and change the slope at all. And once I get it on both sides, I'm just like taking the tip of my shovel and just kind of pushing up underneath it, you know, just kind of work it up under there, but being real careful not to shove it so hard that I'm raising the tubing up. So I'm going to go ahead and finish this off. Still got a little something to put right over here, cushion that all out real good, throw a little soft dirt on top of it, and then I'm going to hop on my tractor and start getting this thing completed. I hope to get it all leveled out and completed before the end of the day. And I'll show you my little helper over here. She's hard at work. She's up all night barking at the coyotes. It's been a real bright moon lately, and these two guys were up trying to keep everybody safe all night. So they're getting their rest so that they have another big night tonight. Okay, now I got dirt on top of it. It's all supported real nice underneath. Got some nice soft dirt on top of it. I even kind of walked down the sides of the pipe with my feet and kind of packed it in along the sides to support it real good, so there'll be no shifting, and there's like that cushion on top. So when I get my tractor and start backfilling this thing, those big old clods of clay and stuff that land on it aren't going to hurt anything. So I feel like for sure everything's safe. Probably doing a little overkill here, but I plan on living here for the rest of my life. I don't want any problems. And you crack something, you won't even know it, you know, until later on when your sewer backs up, and then you don't know where it's at, and it's a big problem. So I've ran into that with electrical conduit underground before. I was able to locate it by poking something down in there. I remember some long piece of stiff wire, and then when it hit the block where it wouldn't go anymore, I marked it right there with some tape or you know, a black felt pen or something, pulled it all the way out, and then measured that, and then I was able to figure out right where it was at in the dirt, and we fixed it. But yeah, it was a pain. I don't want anything like that to happen. Well, I've got the trench all backfilled now, and it looks like it's all completed. I'm ready to move on to the other side of the house where I'm going to put a water line in, and that's another open trench over there. Got to take care of that, fill that in, and then I'm done. No more trenches. And this house will be starting to build up, and we don't have to deal with the trenches anymore. This is where that trench was right here that I just backfilled for the sewer line. The clean out is right there. And I'm gonna put some cinder blocks around it and guard it like a big flat brick over the top, and then cover it with just a little bit of dirt, and I'll kind of mark where it's at. But yeah, it goes right out there. That's where the lids are on the septic tank, where them rocks are right there. So we got it all filled in, and it is done. Well, that's another little job that I really didn't know what I was doing, but you just figure it out along the way. Talk to the right people, watch the right videos, or however you want to go about it, but take advice from several different sources, not just one, and just figure it out and get it done, you know, work your way through it, get it done, and be too stubborn to quit. Just keep on going till it's done. All right, time to move on to the water line.